Rato the Lich King Classic is coming September 26th, and given the terrible, god-awful performance of Classic TBC, one is left to wonder what is gonna happen to Rat. Will it die in a month like everybody's saying? What's the deal, really? First of all, let me tell you that I think I got a pretty good perspective on this because I got a private server history, and private servers are the closest thing to the real deal that we got so far. The performance of each expansion in the private server history can tell you what's gonna happen to Rat. First of all, we got Vanilla, that was huge. You all know that. There's TBC, that was the smallest of the trilogy by far. And Rat is actually kinda complex. Private servers started off during early 2010. So far that's when they became more or less popular, and a lot of the first ones were Rato the Lich King, because Rato the Lich King was the current expansion at the time. Mega servers weren't really a thing, they weren't that popular, they were a very niche thing. But the overwhelming majority of the servers early on in private server history were Rato the Lich King. They are the unsung forefathers of the private server community. We're talking a time even before Phoenix or anything. But that's neither here nor there. I wasn't there for that part of the community time for the most part, but eventually great projects like Everlook, Nostalrius, I said Everlook, eventually great servers like Nostalrius took over the scene by sheer force of their superior quality, and post-2015 private servers weren't so Rato the Lich King heavy anymore, but the constant never changed. Rato the Lich King was always bigger than Vanilla, always bigger than TBC, and it garnered quite a hardcore endemic player base. The problem though is that I do not think private servers will translate into Classic so well during Rato the Lich King Classic. That is for a few reasons. First of all, if you look at the actual demographics, most of the Rato the Lich King players in private servers today are from Latin America and Europe. And I do not mean croissant Europe, we're talking smoking on a tracksuit Europe. That's right, Sukas. What does it mean? Most of them cannot afford the sub. That's the simple reality of where we live, homie. The economics here are not so good, and many of them would actually love to play Classic, but they just can't. I am talking about the Rat player base, and I use the word player base instead of community, is because as many Rato the Lich King players as there are, there is hardly a community for it, period. First of all, again, many third world regions coincide together in the same servers, but they do not really speak to each other, they got their own languages. That's neither here nor there anyway. The thing is, Rat doesn't have the huge streamer scene or the social fabric Vanilla Classic had back in the day before Classic, and it is really damn hard to grow a player base organically without something like that. You got nobody to promote your servers, you got no friends calling friends to call friends to get inside to play. That basically rules out the whole explosion we had for Vanilla Classic, really. But that doesn't mean that's gonna be the same thing forever. We're a real community. Form around Rat, is that even possible? Well, I think high-end arena, definitely a PvP community will form, because it is more retail-like. We can talk about that later, but that's pretty much it for the private server side of things. Let's talk about the expansion itself. And as said before, I think arena PvP will be the main appeal for people, because the PvP is very retail-like. It is a lot more balanced, there's a lot more counterplay, and the fights are slow and they look like a wet noodle fight. I don't know why people like it, but people like it. What can I do about that? So PvP is probably gonna be pretty healthy in Rat. I dare say it's gonna be even more popular than TBC. But the biggest part of WoW has never been the PvP, as much as people like to make it seem. Maybe in the content creation side it's been bigger. The thing is, I think Rato the Lich King is gonna really struggle to have a casual and a raiding community. At least at the start, because Naxxramas is a complete joke. Okay, I do not even have to defend this point by now, do I? Is anybody gonna contest that by now? Okay. There is not much to do, period, PvE wise, that isn't Naxxramas anyway. The good dailies are not even out at the start of the expansion, outside of farming dungeons for gear, so you can get power that you do not need, because the bosses go down anyway. Yeah, Ulduar may bring some people back. I think there's a... I know, let's use the meme. The rose-tinted goggles. I think people are gonna be for a rude awakening when they start doing Ulduar. I know Ulduar is remembered as one of the best raiding tiers of all time. Okay. I will not even die on that hill. Let me tell you. I don't think Cold War is gonna reignite Wrath of the Lich King Classic significantly in any way at all. Period. But to the core of the question, okay? Will Wrath of the Lich King be dead on arrival? Technically, no. Technically, the launch is gonna be pretty strong. I expect it fully to have a lot of people going there at launch to try it out, to play it, because Wrath of the Lich King was very popular back in the day. There's a lot of publicity on it, and there is no such thing as a failed dead on arrival launch on WoW anymore. They can totally drop the ball and it's still not gonna happen. I get it. Here's the catch. I think within a month, or perhaps even less time, 80% of the initial player base is gonna be gone. TBC had poor player retention, it was too raid loggy, they say. Well, homie, boy, son, you got no idea how low player retention can be until you tried Wrath of the Lich King. It's gonna be a wild and pretty crappy and bumpy ride. I tell you that much. I will be there. Okay, I'm not gonna play innocent. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna have fun for like 2 weeks on the Fresh Realms, and that's gonna be the whole deal. Am I gonna go beyond to enjoy Wrath of the Lich King? Not really, I cannot say that. Anyways guys, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, for we got a lot more coming. Join my Discord in the pinned comment, and I am a freelance editor. You need an editor, I'm your man. See ya!